God bless the flag, we all beating our chests. When it's peace, it's the same old game, the same old players, same old names. My skin is my sin. My skin is my sin.
What's good, fam? What's up, AJ?
What's going on, big homie? How you feeling? What's good, man?
Yeah, just hanging on by a thread right about now, bro.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds. I mean, I ain't want to say nothing about it, but that's what it kind of sounds like. So I'll let you say it. You feel me?
It is what it is.
But yeah, everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. You feel what I'm saying? Let me turn this down. You
right,
feel what I'm
you
saying?
Let me let y'all know, y'all tune in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to guys, we welcome everybody. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. Oh, yeah, I did. I just talked to Sean, too. He should be calling up shortly.
Okay, I guarantee you that his phone looked like one of those things that the Ghostbusters used to throw out when they used to throw it. Don't laugh, I'm trying to be serious. But he used to trap the ghost. It's like it was big. It was like a you feel what I'm saying? One of the extension cord jars. You feel what I'm saying? That you can plug with like 4 or 5 extensions. Yeah, I guarantee you his phone long as a bug right now. He gonna have the best reception when he call up though. You feel me?
Oh my goodness. Hey, and let me let them know, man. The number is 347-855-8692. And if you would like to make a comment or you got a question, you want to do it on air, you got to press 1. And let me get Sean in right quick.
Oh, shit.
What's good, fam?
What's going on? How's everybody doing?
What's going on, Sean? What's up with you?
I'm doing all right. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. You feel what I'm saying? You come in here with the Brian McKnight voice. It was all right. I'm all right. You all right, Brian? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right.
All right.
I just hope the family out there all right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, man, we do have the chat room jumping off as usual. We also got the event jumping off in case you got a question or a comment and you really don't want to do it on air. Feel free to post something and we'll get to it as soon as possible. And, you know, I got to be in tonight, so we got to wrap it up by 9. So I kind of want to jump on it as early as possible. I know how we do. We take a minute to call up. But the sooner the better tonight. And just so y'all know, we got a couple of topics on deck. Why are so many sisters single and racism in sports? And really the racism in sports was kind of brought about by Cam, you know, the whole dabbing thing and the heat he'd been taking over that. I would like to address the ladies first, you know, I was raised right. But we need some sisters to participate. So if you out there listening and you got some thoughts on the topic, we definitely want to hear from you. All right, man. My bad, but I didn't mean to cut you off, AJ. What was you saying now?
No, I wasn't saying nothing really. I was just sitting back listening. I mean, personally, honestly, I feel as though that this subject is so sensitive that it doesn't just deserve just 1 hour because it's going to get loud. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm ducking the fire that's coming. You feel what I'm saying? Say something wrong. I'm in the cut. You feel what I'm saying? This is on you. You feel me? I'm over here. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, but I honestly, on a serious note, I feel as though if we're going to diagnose these problems, because we can't ask these problems to sisters without them participating in what we're talking about. So I would rather hear from them first, and then they tell us why they're single before we get into it.
All right, then. You know, and you know what? What somebody commented yesterday was that, you know, it's basically not true. And I want to know if you feel that too. You know, am I wrong? You know, maybe it's just one of those media things where they try to make us feel like. it's a lot of single sisters, and that's not actually the case.
I was waiting for one sister to call you up to tell you that's not true, so we can jump your ass on the show. Because I never agreed to it at all. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I was waiting for it.
Damn, bro, all I hear is the bus backing up over me.
Those I'm telling you, man. It's a lot of worthy sisters out here. You feel what I'm saying? I know that I might get the title of, you feel what I'm saying, simping or whatever, but it depends on the circle that you hang around. You feel me? I don't know about a certain world of these ratchets until I get online. I don't see them in real life. I know where they could be if I want to see them in real life, but if I don't put myself around them in real life, then how do I see them? So I can't tell you that all the people
in Baltimore or something. You go visit the ratchets and go home.
Man, look, you want to see the ratchets, you might see the ratchets. You feel what I'm saying? I'm talking about the hammers. You feel what I'm saying? It depends on where you're going. And yeah, it is. I mean, I got love for all my females. You feel what I'm saying? I'm good anywhere they put me at. But basically, what I'm saying is, it's really about the circle that you put around yourself. Because everybody feels as though they're speaking from experience. Everybody saying, well, I'm just saying, all I see is ratchets. Well, where do you see these ratchets at? When I turn on VH1. Well, I don't watch TV. Where do you see these ratchets at in real life? So we have to speak from real life experiences if we're going to talk about females. The same way we don't want to be ridiculed as men, correct?
That is true. And I mean, you know what? I'm not looking at it as ridiculing. I'm looking at it, I guess I would look like if we were to say sisters are single because they talk too much or they're angry or whatever. That's ridiculing. We're not saying that at all. We're saying, you know what?
Correct.
Is there a problem? And if so, what can we do from our standpoint to kind of help it along?
Hmm.
You know, and you know, it was funny because a guy posted. Well, he commented that basically women are mean. Paraphrasing here. And a young lady commented back and was like, well, I don't, you know, not in my circle, blase splee. And I'm kind of neutral on that one. I'm in the middle on that one because, yeah, it just depends. She's right. It depends on her circle because there are circles of mean women, mean men, you know. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It just kind of it just depends on who you rolling with and the type of characters you keep around you.
Exactly. Like, who's the best teachers in your life, you feel what I'm saying, besides your parents' experience? You feel what I'm saying? So if you don't experience these certain things, then how can you basically make a blanket statement and say all? See, people got to choose their words wisely when they're talking about social issues because they would say all black women are angry. That's not true. That's just like saying that all of another race is such and such, blah, blah, blah. That is just not true. But people use it so openly and so many idiots agree with, I'm sorry, I'm calling y'all idiots out. So many idiots agree with the shit that it picks up steam. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you ever had a conversation and you're talking to the person and then it'd be like, I mean, you feel like you ever have a conversation with somebody and they'd be like, well, y'all feel this way. I look over my left shoulder, look over my right shoulder, like, who the fuck is y'all? Who's y'all? You're talking to me. You feel what I'm saying? So ask me about me. Don't talk about y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Because it pisses me off. You have to look at every single person that you talk to as an individual. I can't put no race or anybody and classify one in particular person for a whole entire group. I have to see your actions first. Now, if you want to be ratchet, okay, I'll put you in the ratchet bunch. You feel what I'm saying? But if you're a classy lady or in between, it doesn't even matter. Put it like this. My living system is I start you off with 100%. You take away from that 100%. So basically, you put yourself in the situation where I would view you as, pretty much. All right, you can go it. I'm speaking fast because I can hear it in your mind. Charles, I can hear it in your mind. Like, you feel what I'm saying? All right, I'm waiting for him to shut up because I'm about to cut him off. You feel what I'm saying? So I hurt to get it out.
If you could see inside my head right now, it'd be crickets. Like, literally. Not even loud crickets, just sitting there looking at each other like, bro, I'm tired.
Let me add a topic one more time.
We got a couple of...
Okay.
You say what?
I said, let me add a topic one more time. You said peace.
I ain't hear a word you said, Sean.
I said, what's that topic?
Oh, why are so many sisters single and racism in sports?
Okay, real quick. I don't do too many generalizations with sisters. I don't do that. I do a generalization with other people, but not my family. You feel me? I speak black women real quick though. I do have something I'll say on this, and this is something I will generalize on. Black women are strong. Some people feel you say they get a headache or they nag or whatever, but they strong. It takes they strong. That's all I'm gonna say. Better than a strong woman. That's all I gotta say.
I agree with that. 100%. Well, I tell you, man, y'all is definitely dipping y'all toes in the shallow end of the pool tonight.
Yeah,
and your phone was messing. See, that's why your phone was messing up.
Go ahead, jump out there.
We do. I see. I'm scared to jump out there either. And actually, you know what? And what I did was I did write a post, and we got a couple of callers. I'm gonna get to them in just a second. I did write a post excluding jail. Why are so many sisters single? And somebody put up a interesting stat, and I can't find it, but I remember what it was saying is that like from birth, boys outnumber girls in our community being born. But from 18 to 23,
it's 51% to 49%. If I'm correct, last time I seen it's 51% to 9% that males on but.
Man, your phone is really acting janky, Sean.
All right.
But I think I heard what you said, 51% to 49%. It's rough for men. 18 to 23, he was saying that was from 18 to 23, it's like 7 men for every woman. 7 women for every man.
Yeah, all that goes back into white supremacy. So
wow,
that's a whole another story. I'm more than happy to break that down. But we have a caller, so let's see what the caller wants to talk about.
All right, you know what? We're gonna jump to 1010 right quick. What's good, fam?
How y'all doing, guys? It's Scribe Queen.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. So everybody's scared to jump out there tonight, apparently.
Yeah, we're walking on eggshells right now. But
I'll jump out there. I'll take a crack at it.
Yeah, okay. What do you think about it?
Well, obviously, I'm pretty sure y'all know, I'm against the generalizations and all of that. But all that out the way, that's just their play. For a lot of the women that are single, I think that it basically comes down to, and the men too, we got lazy. Because once we got hurt a couple of times, it was like, oh, you can't tell me nothing. I did this nigga and he played me, or this girl fucked my homeboy. And never do we give ourselves responsibility for making the wrong choices.
Wow.
And we want, our grandparents, people like our grandparents aren't around anymore, but the people that we are having those conversations with are proof that, we out here. We're talking to each other. You know what I mean?
So, do you think that it's like a defense mechanism that most people put up when they're trying, say if they get out of a bad relationship and they're trying to meet somebody, they put up this, invisible force field because they don't want to go through the same feelings that they went through from their past relationships?
Definitely. I definitely think it's a defense mechanism, and I know that people have their reasons for doing it, but I'm a logic person. It's black and white. So it doesn't really matter why you put your wall up. the reason you can't find this person is because you put this wall up, and now you're trying to convince me that you can't find them because they're not out here. And, like, I'm starting from a negative with you, trying to convince you just that they're out here. I don't have energy for that.
I totally agree.
Let me ask you this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Scribe. What you say?
I was gonna say in reference to like having relationships like our grandparents had, we are quick to say what we will and won't put up with, and our grandparents put up with a lot of things that we claim we won't put up with. So maybe that's why we can't get the things that they had.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh,
we have a whole lot of distractions in front of us also as well that wouldn't even let us, you know what I mean, be the way that our grandparents was. Like, I couldn't imagine my grandfather with Twitter. You know, it's popping in the DM, Willard. You know, recipes my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? It would be wild for that boy. You know? But
to add on to what she said, like she said, how do I put it? We sometimes we go out there and we look for the person that fits what we're looking for, and we have to understand that nothing's going to be perfect. You know what I mean? Of course, when you meet somebody, you get in that newness stage where everything is new, it's brand new, and everything is perfect. You know, once that's all nitty gritty. Not a lot of people.
There go your phone again.
How about now?
Not a lot.
A little bit better right there.
Yeah, not a lot of people go that deep, like think that deep with it, and you know they fall off. Like I said, nothing's gonna be perfect. You got to look for what you can put up with, because nobody's gonna be perfect.
Correct.
No, you're not gonna find that person that you match with. Everything is crystal clarity. Because if you keep looking for that, you're gonna be throwing away a lot of good people. You're gonna be throwing away people that you're compatible with 80%, 90%, 95%, because you didn't find that 100% person. You know.
That's absolutely true. You know, I do think that men tend to. We tend to see signs and run a lot quicker than women. And women, just from my experience, tend to ignore signs that they should run from. So I think, you know, we got to find a happy medium. Because I know there have been times where, you know, a woman did something and I was like, that's a wrap. You know, the simplest thing, and nope, that's the huge red flag. You know, and I was making it a way bigger red flag than it actually was. It wasn't even a red flag. It was like a just a caution sign that could have been nothing, but that I kind of turned into something bigger because I didn't want to risk it. You know what I mean? And you know that leads me to a question too, because a lot of us are hurt. You know, men and women. Like, at what point, and you know, you hear it all the time, is that you have to be patient with people. You know, at what point does it turn, you know, do you make that call as this is, you know, this is beyond being patient. This is just not a healthy individual for me. And I'm not saying just women, and, you know, I'm saying men as well. You know, like when do you make that call? You know, is there any, like, good way to define, you know, I need to go ahead and leave this alone, or is that just, you know, everybody just listen to their own gut?
I think it depends on, like, what's important to you. And once you're putting so much into trying to fix somebody that is taken away from something that's important to you, like, they're not helping you. They gotta go.
Yeah. Like, yeah. To go on that, put yourself first. You gotta understand what you want.
Yeah, the signs is always there. The signs is always there. People just usually know. I don't want to be with somebody and be like, God damn, that motherfucker right there again. I just woke up. You feel look, let's end this on a easy note. You dig what I'm saying? But I honestly feel as though at the same time, when certain people chase imaginary things, they don't let things work. This is how life works. You feel what I'm saying? you just didn't wake up one day and just knew how everything worked out with you. Some things have to form into what you like. You feel what I'm saying? You might have somebody that you've known for years, and y'all looked at each other like, excuse me, get away from me. You feel what I'm saying? But y'all are the perfect match for each other. Some things just have to work out for things, because you might put a picture in your head that doesn't match what you are really about.
Hey, Scribe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another call. If you don't mind hanging out with us for a little bit, I do want to get somebody else on the line.
I don't mind.
All right. Well, thank you. Hold on 1 second. We're going to get to...
I don't mind either.
Right.
I don't mind. Come on,
let's get to 6509. Actually, that just sounded great. That's all. You know. Hold on. Let's get to 6509. No. What's good, Sal?
How do you follow that?
Oh, man.
I don't know, man.
I know that. Hey, well, let that sit a few seconds.
Peace, family. How you doing, Brother Wale?
Hey, everything good, man. How are you?
I'm all right.
Oh,
cool.
I'm good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear.
So what do you think about our topic?
I'll tell you if you don't mind. I mean, you know, I can get long-winded.
My bad.
But I'm just saying, if you don't mind me talking, I'll tell you though. But my thing looked like this. Sean said about expectations. I think AJ did too. This expectations thing. We have a societal mind that doesn't match our spiritual selves.
Mm-hmm.
So we're expecting something that's never going to happen, almost never.
Correct.
Because it's not in our reality. And then when we don't get it, we get mad at the other person. Like, it's your fault. You should have been like Superman. I knew you were Clark Kent. You know?
Right. That brother telling the truth right there.
Yeah. So I think we all in that. The women, the men, everybody is into that. You know, because we expect something. I think even Buddha said. He said, the source of all sorrow and misery is expectation and want and expectation, desire and expectation. If you don't have them two things, you can't be disappointed. If you don't expect nothing, how you going to be disappointed? You can't. So I'm just saying, that's how I see it. And then the women, you know, of course, it's, man, when you count, you say take jail out, but hey, man, I'm like, that's 95% of the brothers right there. I don't know. I mean, maybe 90, 85. Let's go with 85% right there at some given time. You know what I mean? Even if it's for 3 days or 2 weeks or just being pulled over, you know, after a while, you know, it's a mess. So that's a big count on what's going on. And then the guys are, you know, killing each other by the droves in all the big cities anyway, I hear. Chicago, what they call it, Crytown or something. What's it called now?
Chirac.
Okay,
It used to, yeah.
Can I present this question to you as well? I do want to present it to everybody in the room and everybody that's listening as well. Changing your surroundings can also benefit you as well. You know, because some people are so, you know what I mean, comfortable in their comfort zones that they might get upset with the people that they end up with, but at the same time, they would basically make a blanket statement and clarify all of the people that they meet within that circle as all men in general. So that is a flag right there as well.
I can't 100% agree with that, because if you take me from right here in New York and drop me in Alaska, I'm still going to be Sean Dawn. You know what I mean? I may gravitate to certain people that move like me, you know, until I change within myself. You know what I mean? Then it don't matter where you drop me or if I stay there. You know, I'm going to react different now because my thought pattern changed. But as far as to on his level, what I'm assuming now, if I'm in the ghetto or if I'm in the hood or whatever, and I'm looking for someone, a certain type of person that I know is not going to be in the ghetto or the hood, then, you know, or in certain places. Let me not say the ghetto or the hood, because I look, you know, I'm there now. You know what I mean? You know, in certain places. Let me put it that way. If you're not looking for certain people in certain places and such and so forth, then, you know, look for them in other places. But as far as wanting a change, you know, a revolution within yourself, nah, you know, it don't matter where you go.
You know what? And I think, and both for men and women, but I think we do need to work on the things that we are willing to accept. And sometimes I think it can be an extreme. Like I have seen, you know, a lot of lists. You know, you got a list that's 100 deep of what you want in a man or a woman. Might want to narrow that down a little bit.
Yeah, that's not true.
Like, you know, I don't want somebody that wears sweat socks. You know, that type of thing. Like that's just way too much. And if you are, you know, that deep into it, you're probably not going to be successful.
No, I'll say this. One thing, you should never limit what you want. You have to be specific. Also have to have, so when you make this list, I cannot ask for somebody that I want to date that makes, let's say she makes $70,000 a year, and I'm bringing in $45,000 a year. What if she wants somebody to make $80,000? You know, even though I'm thinking that she's the one of my dreams, I could get to that $80,000. But at this point in time, right here, I'm not there. So we're just going to she's going to overlap me. It's nothing wrong with having dreams and priorities, but it's something wrong when you don't basically invest in the person that you're talking to. So
right, and you got to define what's more important. Is the monetary, you know, value more important than how they treat you? And not to say that people with, you know, brothers making $80,000 not going to treat you well, but if you got a brother that's making $45,000, which is nothing to sneeze at, you know, that means that he's out there working and he's doing his thing. You know, he just may not be making what you're making, but he treats you great.
Yeah, I mean that's when it boils down to personal issues.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? What's more important to you? Financial security or physical and mental and spirituality type of security? Like, what is more important? Because if you will overlook those things that make you feel better, like a dude can make you smile just by telling you jokes, and we had Cold Stone getting some ice cream, but you rather go to Ruth Chris, and y'all in there mad as a motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? But them plates, $200. If that make you more happier than the dude that can walk up and down the playground, which or wherever y'all go at, and he can make you happy, then that person need to reevaluate themselves. They'd rather be miserable with money instead of being happy as far as emotionally. And honestly, that's what the dude should leave, or the female should leave, vice versa.
Yeah, you know, but at the very least, be honest about that.
And you know what? There was a time when marriages was business relationships. It was transactions.
They still are. They still are.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I was gonna say that. You know, it is to this day, and then you have to look at it like that. You know, nobody want to be with somebody who has no drive, who's just sitting around doing nothing. You know, because when you get together and you put in with somebody, you know, you're building a legacy because you're trying to build. You know, you're trying to have kids, have a family, and such and so forth. You know, people have, you know, you know. This is nature. That's how the circle of life, the cycle. So when you keep dealing with somebody and they're not about that, you know, it's going to suffer. It's going to suffer because we live in a world where a system where it's based on monetary things and such and so forth. So you have to, you have to work it out. So you know, you have to. Okay, well, let's say, you have to have your things, your list of what you want in a relationship. I want this, I want that, you know, but also, what are you bringing to the table? You have to bring something to the table. Correct. Depending on how it's some type of balance that needs to be there. Depending on how high you hold your standards, you better be high as your standards.
You know what I'm hearing, though, Sean?
I feel that.
Sean, what I'm hearing is the way that the approach leads to a lot of mechanisms. What's that called? Calculations. The approach leads to a lot of calculations, right? Mm-hmm. This approach, you got to calculate this, calculate that, see what this is. Okay, so I don't like that. That's just personally. I don't care for all those calculations. So I'm going to just jump to the simple stuff because I like stuff to be simple, right? Let's say we have a cause. Let's say I have a cause. Let's say you have a cause. Let's say everybody here in the relationship has a cause, whether it's a female-male relationship, male, whatever, it doesn't matter. Relationship, child, baby.
Okay,
relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we say, okay, what's the cause? Do we have a cause? If we have a cause, that means something bigger than us, not a goal, a cause now. For life, a cause. Like you said, something about animals and nature and all that, they have a cause. We seem to be lacking a cause. I'm just suggesting if we have a cause, then we will be able to, sidestep a lot of this calculations. And if the person is in with your cause and y'all have a cause together, then that would determine whether y'all stay together or not, or not whether his toes stink, but the cause. Trying to get the cause done, and all these little calculations every day, multiple things that could happen that blow up people's mind and stuff, may not come into
Sam?
Yes.
King? I need to get to some of these calls, man, because I
just wanted
can't stay
to
over this tonight.
Do you think?
I feel you, man. I definitely appreciate it, man, but the switchboard kind of lighting up. I want to make sure, especially I want to hear from some of the ladies. No disrespect. But I want to get their input.
I'm gonna carry his line though. A cause, and that's real. So you go call it.
I mean, the question we really have to go back into what the question was presented. Why are so many females single? I didn't come up with that idea, ladies. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just here. I'm just an ornament on the tree. So don't come at me. You feel what I'm saying? But let's talk about that.
Wow, I appreciate the extensive throwing me
under
the bus.
Mr. Postman.
Hey, but
that's your ass.
Before I take this next call, I just pulled up an article from the New York Times, and I just want to go over this just for a second. It's a look at some 2009 data shows that 70.5% of black women in the United States had never been married, but those were women between the ages of 25 and 29. Black women marry later, but they do marry. By the age of 55 and above, those numbers show that only 13% of black women had never been married. And that's not to define and say that that's a relationship, that's the only way you can count relationships. That's just the way they chose to do it. However, maybe I'm just totally wrong on the premise. It's not that sisters aren't in relationships. They're just taking their time with it. So maybe I was wrong.
That could kind of be easily countered because I heard that statistic as well. You feel what I'm saying? Listening to other broadcasts, and I'm not going to repeat some of the rhetoric that they were saying on there because it gets vicious. You feel what I'm saying? I listen to a lot of different things, and you wouldn't want to hear some of the things that they were saying as far as females getting married later. You dig what I'm saying? But white people marry within our race at a higher percentage outside of any other race. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a good thing to me, and that's how I like to keep it, personally. So let's get to the next call.
Oh, no doubt. Let's see who we got. Who was there? Let's see. 7795.
What up,
fam?
It's your boy that walked the streets of Baltimore City for the 30 years of his life. What's going on is not good.
What's going on, Big O? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I was waiting on this one, man.
Oh yeah? All right.
Yeah. And I'm going to stay on the line because I heard y'all say y'all want to talk about Cam Newton. I got some questions to throw in about that, some questions and answers and opinions on that. But to the females why a lot of sisters are single out there, and I'm listening to everyone who called and everyone who spoke, and a lot of y'all saying a lot of key points. And the thing is, this question has so many answers that every answer is correct. There's no wrong answer to this question. Every answer is correct from what I believe. Now, I'm going to give you my personal experience from what I've dealt with and what I physically seen other people dealt with on why females are single. Now, a few weeks ago, we had a conversation about why do some people date outside of their race. And I'm one of those people that I will date outside my race. And so I could get into that just a little bit. I want to brief that up. The reason why I did that is because, AJ, you somewhat was talking about it not too long ago. When you was talking about that, why I got to be Ruth Chris and not a date at Cold Stone or whatever, right?
Correct.
When I started dating girls outside of my race, I started getting those types of questions like, hey, want to go to Cold Stone and get some ice cream? Hell yeah, let's do that. Or, hey, you want to go walk the dog in the park? Hell yeah, I want to do that. Because I realized, like, I'm not spending $40, $60, $100, $200 on a goddamn date no more. I'm like, this is what I've been missing. This is what I've been missing from sticking to my race, dating black females or whatever. Now, not saying there's no black females out there that don't do this. I look at the world as a 50-50 world. That's just me personally. And from what I see, like someone said something about expectations, and one main thing that I've noticed with black people, mainly black females, is settling. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I see a lot of black females settle for less. You know what I mean? And what I mean by settling for less is like, let's say a female, she's looking for a place to go.
Let me cut you off right there because I want to address that part right there. I don't look at that as a black woman problem. I look at that right there as a black man problem. Because if they feel like they have to settle, then as a group, you're not bringing enough to the table there.
No, all right. Are we giving them good enough options?
You know what? I will say this. I feel as though settling just doesn't even come across as just black women in general. Women settle. Once you get into your 30s, their time clock starts ticking. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So they will settle. You feel what I'm saying? When they get to 34, 36, they might have talked to the high school, the college, the super duck from the 3-point line dude. You feel what I'm saying? Then when you see him at the high school reunion and some shit like that, they talking to Wild Bill. You feel what I'm saying? Like his cornrows is still intact from 1999. You feel me? Like some women do settle. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's not saying that's not what they're looking for. Is that they feel as though that they could gravitate to at this point in time. You feel me? So I do. And another thing I do want to touch on is one thing that that Nasir said about having expensive dates between Ruth Chris and Cold Stone. I noticed that when I was dating younger chicks. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like my last chick I was talking to, I took to the Kevin Hart show. We went to Ruth Chris. We did with the Moles. We did all that. You feel what I'm saying? Nasir lived down here. He already know what I'm talking about. But I got to talk to this older chick. You feel what I'm saying? That was a doctor. Yeah, shout out to me. You feel what I'm saying? But like we didn't have to go through these. She already been through these routines, and she was pretty. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel as though maturity plays a part in it as well, depending on who you're talking to. There's so many factors when you're talking about building a strong relationship. It's no, like you say, there's no one wrong answer. All the answers are correct. You just have to put them. You just have to make it work.
Right. And see, what I was getting at with the settling thing, it was more so because, all right, it's just saying, all right, black people, we just have this stigma or whatever. Why, AJ, I'm going to say the first part, you finish it. Why do good girls like bad guys?
I mean, well, I'm gonna tell you right there that's not a black people thing, man. That's
no, I'm not. Look, we said sisters, right? We said sisters. Yeah. So I thought it's a 50-50 world to me, but we talking sisters. Now, what though? Let me get this off. Like not too long, I'm gonna say last year, my homeboy Maurice, who I was running the streets with or whatever, he was going from female to female to female. And all these females knew that. They seen it. It wasn't nothing hidden. You know what I mean? And so, and my sister dealt with this dude. And I wish she had told me about it because I could have warned her of the struggles that she was about to have to go through dealing with this dude. Now,
correct.
He posted up something on Instagram of him in Miami with another girl. So his baby mom, she screenshotted it and she put it on her Instagram and was like, guys always claim to be broke and can't take care of their own, but yet they down in Miami with their girl partying their life up. And so I said, don't do that. Now, I didn't say don't do that because that was my homeboy. I said don't do that because I'm like, you knew what type of guy you were getting into before you spreaded them legs open and ended up getting pregnant by this dude. And
correct.
That's the thing. That's the problem that I see with a lot of females is that, you know, oh, I want this guy. Like someone said it earlier, like they don't want the good guy at the early age. They want the good guy later on in life when they realize, like, damn, you know, I done dealt with a lot of guys that was on some bullshit, and here I am, 30, 35 years old, with 2 to 5, 6 different baby daddies, or 2 to 5 different kids or whatever. And it's like, and me personally, it's like, you know, I'm 30 right now. Right. If I was looking for a girl, I'm like, I don't want nobody that got like 30-something kids, not 30, that got a handful of kids. I'm not looking for that. That's not what I want.
You know what?
But you know what, Joe?
Go ahead.
You know what
I was going to say was, before we get to another, because we definitely got to, man, the switchboard is killing me right now. Before we get to another caller, I do want to say, that too right there goes both ways. Because if you think about it, like dudes, when we 21 years old, we're not looking to settle down. So we're looking for a woman to complement that not looking to settle down. And we also will wait. The difference is that society has placed stigmas on women who wait as opposed to, a man who waits is disciplined and knows what he wants. A woman who waits can't get a man.
That's why I would never generalize. Like I said when I started off, I would never generalize the sisters because, on one hand, I know the struggle they put a lot of this stuff forth. So I can't look at it. Plus, not all sisters is like that. You know what I mean? In certain areas, maybe, but go ahead.
We could. Now, you feel what I'm saying? I do want to make 2 quick points. We can look at what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said, you feel what I'm saying, because we all know, rest in peace to her, we love her. She said that the black family shouldn't basically start a family until both of the parents are 35. You dig what I'm saying?
No, I said that the man 35 and the woman 30. But so we gonna,
So basically, so now that's going to my second point. He said that why do good girls like bad guys? Now, it's not necessarily that they're bad. Most of the good guys that this female might talk to lack something that the bad guys have. That doesn't mean that they're bad, like they're just breaking in people's houses and doing stupid, frivolous things. They might have a mouthpiece on them. You dig what I'm saying? Most of the dudes that get the females that everybody want that we consider bad had a good mouthpiece on them. You feel me? Somebody that's stuck in their books, they cannot relate to most of what these females want to hear about or talk about. But if you have a good mouthpiece and you basically can talk and relate to any subject because you're a worldly person, you have something that somebody that's book smart lacks at that period of time. This is why a lot of females fall for these type of dudes as well. We're just totally putting all the blame on the females, like they, you feel what I'm saying, just didn't get hypnotized. I'm not even going to say hypnotized, that's the wrong word. But they wasn't feeling it that somebody might tell them. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel that.
The guys say
that's appealing to the raw nature, man. If you ask me, just appealing to raw nature without thinking critically about the situation. But then I got to go back to earlier when we situation. Like when you think critically.
Hey, your phone breaking up. But what I am gonna do, man, is I'm gonna get to another caller, man. I definitely want to, sisters, if you out there, give us a call up. We want to hear from y'all standpoint too.
Let me give you. I'm gonna give you an idea that might help you screen out female. Cause I don't know what you're looking at, and I don't know if it's able to tell you if it's a male or female. But what you can do, AJ, what you should do, or whoever's in the link that you posted up, AJ, the post, you should have the females when they come on, put their last 4 digits up. That way you can say AJ can be like, you know what, this is a female right here. This is her digits right here. Bring that person on board. Because to me, like, what it seemed like, you're grabbing random numbers, and you're hoping that it's a girl, then it's either a female or it's a guy or whatever. But I think that's something that can help you screen out the females from the males. If the females actually go into that post and say, these are my last 4 digits, this is my name, yada, yada, yada. And AJ can see that and say, hey, such as, I don't know your name, brother, whatever. I'm going to just say, hey, such and such.
Job.
Look for 1458, and that's Candace right there, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that can help you screen out the females from the males.
That's a good idea, bro.
Definitely.
So ladies, y'all heard that, and I know for a fact that this is a female right here. We're going to get to her next anyway. But yeah, ladies, like we definitely want to hear from y'all. No doubt, man. We're going to keep you. Yeah, just don't hang up, man.
All right.
So we're going to get to 4125, and apparently I need to pay attention a little bit more. But ladies, we definitely want to get y'all input too. So if you are on hold or you would like to say something, put it in the event and let us know. Okay, my bad. I got you, Ms. Jones.
Just put your last numbers in the conference, but if you want to send me your whole number, my name is 8. No, I'm joking. Go ahead. You said what was hit me in my head. It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the
Hey, man, we're about to get to 4125 right quick. And then we got 0199 right after that. What's good, fam?
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right, yourself?
Yeah, how about you?
Always on the move.
Queen.
Always on the move. What I wanted to say was, actually, I was listening to the show, and there were a lot of really good points that were made by the men. I think what also needs to be said, too, is that not only is there expectation, but I also think that what needs to be considered is what the person is looking for in themselves. Because when you're in a relationship, the person you're with, to a great degree, is a reflection of yourself. So you don't want to just jump out there and just get anybody that's old willy-nilly or whatever. You got to know what your expectations of self are, so that way, in a positive light, you can impose that on the person that you're trying to get with. Because your expectations of self will reflect in that other person, because then you won't have to worry about, well, I expect this, that, and the third, because whatever you expect for yourself, you would want for the other person, correct? So if you're nice and personable and intelligent, you want the person that you're trying to get with to be the same. You don't want the total and complete opposite where you're all nice and intelligent and intellectual, and then the person is the total opposite where they're always being belligerent. They're always being abusive in every sense of the word. Now, as far as with black women in particular, the problem is there's a lot of external sociological and environmental factors, that play into black women getting into relationships. It's not the fact that black women don't want to be in relationships. And to me, these numbers of black women or of them being single, to me, they're so convoluted and they're so diluted and watered down, it's ridiculous. The reality of it is black women are in relationships, but we have to differentiate the difference between relationships versus relations, and I think that's where the disconnect lies.
Oh,
definitely. I feel as though. Majority of this just boils down to white supremacy. I'm just going to keep it honest. Mm-hmm. Everything boils down to white supremacy. And let me explain how. You feel what I'm saying? If you put this stigma in your parents' head, and maybe your parents before that, depending on how old you are, that a female that's raising females with no males around could basically dictate, not basically compromising the relationship, but just totally dictate how a whole relationship goes, because she was taught that from somebody that wasn't successful in their relationships, because the people before them told them that they was independent and they were strong by themselves. So now you have Indians leading Indians. You don't have any leaders leading these people, and this can go vice versa, depending on with the males as well.
Well, that plays a huge factor in that, because when we look at the sociological factors of relationships in general, if we look in the times of before the time of Enlightenment and the Victorian age, yes, I'm going far backwards, there was a certain standard that a woman had to meet anyway. And because of the Enlightenment period, there was an opening of what is expected of women, especially with black women, because keep in mind, like AJ said, there was a lot of white supremacy going on, and there was a lot of division and dissension within the black family. So for generations on end, we are dealing with a dilemma of men misconstruing a woman saying, well, I don't need a man. No, what we're saying is we don't need the extra weight of a person that might feel down and out, and then you've got the mentality of misery loves company. We want a man that protects us, nurtures us, provide for us.
And I was just about to lean on that as well, because once black men, you feel me, that was raised by women as well. I am not trying to dump on men or females, especially black, but just hear me out. Now, if you have these legions and legions of women that are successful now, do not get me wrong, these are very successful women that was raised by other women as well, that they feel as though that they accomplished something by doing something on their own. They was taught a whole family structure. So now, let's look at from a male's perspective, from a dusty nigga perspective. Let's keep it 100 from a dusty nigga perspective. He's looking at this female as a meal ticket. He's looking at her as a meal ticket. Am I lying?
She's a man hater, yes.
Exactly. He's going to get with this female. You feel what I'm saying? She's like, oh, well, she just going to take care of me. I don't need to do nothing. We all met these type of females before. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, well, he going to get his shit together one day. You know, I bought him some Jordans or whatever. I waited in line. When the last time he had a job? Oh, it was like 2007. But I love him, though. See, everything breaks down to a system. You don't see no other races go through these type of things. They do not practice single parents in any other race. Not one. You feel me? Because I put up a post not too long ago. They're making a new comic book and a video series about a single black mother. She had a son that had mutant powers, and everybody was rejoicing for it. You feel raising Dion. I made a post about that. Now everybody was like, "Wow, this is so good." You know, she is strong. She is strong. Yes, she is strong. Don't get me wrong. She is strong. But at the same time, what are they promoting? Now, the females that's looking at this are looking at it like, well, if she could do it, I could do it. Just show me one. Just show, like even Spider-Man. Even Spider-Man lost both of his parents, but Peter Parker was raised by both of his grandparents. Both of them.
Right. Well, see, it goes back to the whole sociological perspective of how black people are being looked at as a whole. You know, we have since during and after the African diaspora, and men being taken care of, being taken out of the home, the black woman had to freaking step up. So to make this comic book and making this whole thing going on, that further exacerbates the bigger agenda. The problem here is that what we're teaching our children in this generation, and I've seen it, I've worked with kids, I'm dealing with a teenager right now whose expectations of a black man are completely superficial. You know, he's got to make a certain amount of money. He's got to have a certain type of car. He's got to live in a certain area or whatever. But all that is superficial because once you get all those things, then what's left? You see what I'm saying? And we need to break our people out of that. And the way to do that is we have to evaluate and meet our personal expectation of ourselves. Until we do that, it's not going to matter who you're with.
And so, do you love a person because of what they have, or do you love a person for their drive? You know, because some people can be born in generational wealth. Just imagine if they lost that wealth. Did you love them for the money?
You know what? Just
being honest with yourself. I'm not going to sit here and knock somebody who says, you know what, I'm putting money before love. Okay, if that's you and that's your thing, then be honest not only with yourself, but be honest with whoever you come in contact with. I think that is a key thing, is that we aren't always as honest up front as to what our needs and our wants are. And we don't make them known clearly enough, men and women. And what happens a lot of times is you'll find somebody and you'll say, okay, you know what, I'm going to roll with them and I'm going to keep a couple of things to myself. Like you say, they'll change. Well, you could have had somebody that was on your level from the get-go without hurting that person, because maybe they won't change. Maybe they're happy with who they are. And you trying to turn them into somebody that they aren't.
Well, let's ask this question then. Let's ask the question of, are you going to be with a person because they have drive, or are they driven?
That's an individual case-by-case basis for, that particular person, is what you want. But I do got to get to a couple more callers too, Queen. Because, it's kind of blowing up. Everybody wants to chime in on this one. So salute to everybody that called in too.
All right, thank you much.
I don't want to cut you off, Queen, but we only got an hour left, and today that's one of them days I can't go over, so I want to make sure that everybody get taken care of as much as possible.
Well, I appreciate the time. I thank you.
I thank you, and I appreciate we love when you call up. You always got the wisdom.
I try to. It's not an easy thing.
Well, you know what? You make it seem easy. Salute to you.
Thank you. Y'all take care now.
You welcome. You too. All right. I think I said, I can't remember if it was 0199 or 2082. 0199 has been holding for a long time. So if I said 2082 was, stop it. If I said 2082, you were next, I apologize. You'll be right after 0199. What's good, fam?
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
This is Tina. How you doing? That's some great opinions. Everybody had great points of view. I appreciate that. The conversation is great. This is my first time listening.
Oh, salute to you.
Okay. This is my first time listening, and the conversation.
Is there anything you want to chime in on? Because we would definitely like to add to the great opinion list.
Okay. My point of view, which everybody touched on some great points, but nobody is looking inward. We have to stop being so selfish. That's one of the things. We have to stop thinking that automatically, as soon as you meet somebody or whatever, I'm not going to get played. That's in the back of your head. We also got to stop the conversations that we telling ourselves. We have to change the language that we tell ourselves, that I'm not going to get hurt again. Then you expect them to get hurt. You expect them to get hurt, and then you have to stop saying that you're getting hurt, because it makes psychosomatically get the point of view that you are physically in pain. That this person disappointing you will cause you physical pain. So we have to change the language that we tell ourselves, and and don't be scared to go out there and meet new people. Don't be scared to get disappointed. One thing is going to be for sure in life, just as well as death and birth, is that we will get disappointed. So don't worry about getting disappointed. Go out, don't be scared to meet new people. Don't be afraid to date the kind of person that you've never dated. Give that person the chance to rise to the occasion to surprise you. And if they don't be afraid to walk away from something that don't serve you.
Queen, can I say something to you? Queen? Because something that you said really set out with me. Because don't tell nobody this. It's between me and you. I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. I'm keeping it 100. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't been in a real relationship in probably like a year. You feel what I'm saying? I don't like that. Oh no, we break it up type of feeling. I'm a real dude. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep that shit 100. Because I don't like investing time in people. You feel what I'm saying? I can't read you out. You feel me? I'm not gonna give you a pop quiz as soon as I meet you. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing? What you like? Ice cream? How many? You feel what I'm saying? What was your last sex escapade? You feel what I'm saying?
So
like, I'm not.
Don't commit so fast. People don't. There's two things people don't do no more. Really get to know somebody. You know, is one thing that they don't get. Everybody meets somebody. They chit chatting on Facebook, and before you can meet, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Before you can actually meet, that's my girl. And if she posts anything about going out, you want to know, you know, who you was with. I don't owe you no explanation. You know what I'm saying? You don't owe that woman no explanation. People got to stop being microwave mentality, having fast expectations. They see that. I understand that Stephen Covey say begin with the end in mind, but we take it to the extreme when it comes to a relationship, because as soon as we meet somebody, most of the time women feel like, okay, is this the man I'm going to walk down the aisle with? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even that deep. You know, shit, have ice cream. Have hot dogs on the porch. You know, something. You know, before you, but be honest. Be completely honest. And people lie, you know what I'm saying, and they have high expectations, then they can't meet the expectations in themselves that they demand out of other people.
And you know what? I want to piggyback off of that. And just my 2 cents, ladies, don't tell men what the last men, you know, did in the first 10 minutes of y'all conversation.
Don't tell them ever, like, pretty much.
Well, I won't say never. You know, there may be, you know, you want to have conversations at some point. Once things progress where y'all can have some open conversations, I can understand you talking about some things. Everything, you know, you're right. You know, not everything needs to be discussed, but I have time and time again, like if you have a propensity. I'm sorry, what you say?
I'm saying if people fail to realize everything that comes up does not have to come out. You know, you keep something to yourself. People don't have no sanctity or privacy of themselves. You know,
and you making it
everything.
I think that sometimes we think
for ain't shit dudes. You know,
I think that we make it easy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
If you have a propensity, and you know this, to, you know, the last couple of relationships been ain't shit dudes, okay, or for men, ain't shit chicks. You got to do a little self-evaluation. A lot of times what we are doing unknowingly is we're giving them the roadmap to be ain't shit towards us. An ain't shit person is going to bow out early.
When you expecting it, you bringing that energy to you to be disappointed. When you expecting it, that's why I say we have to change the language that we tell ourselves. Because if you meet this person and you get that energy connection to this person, and then you say, okay, well, when the honeymoon phase gonna be over, because I know he gonna be full of shit. You know, excuse my language. I know he gonna be full of it. And you know, and I'm gonna give it a week. I'm gonna give it a month. You look, if you give it 2 years, 10 years, if you look to be disappointed, you will. You know, and then this the thing. People are going to disappoint you and never give you their 110%.
I was just about to speak on that. I feel as though that sometimes in a relationship we overthink for our mates as well. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we think for them. You feel me? Like, oh, she'll never do that. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, no. She ain't up there doing what I think she's doing, even though 9 of her best friends doing the same. We overthink and overcompensate for certain things because we make up a fantasy in our world. You dig what I'm saying? We feel comfortable in our fantasy, hoping it becomes a reality. But now we have to step forward and understand what is really a reality in front of us. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people get bondage into these long relationships. And that's why they carry these things to next relationships.
My whole point was saying, you know, stop expecting to be hurt. You know, stop. If the power of forgetting is a beautiful thing. The power.
I don't forgive nobody. I ain't gonna lie. I don't forgive nobody.
No, I ain't say forgive. I said forget. Forgetting. You know, the power of forgetting is a beautiful thing, you know. And I can look at you and remember what you did to me, but that's remembering at a point in time and forgetting two different things. You know, it can be something can bring it back to my memory and I'll remember. But when you forget something, it has no effect on you because you're not constantly thinking about it. You're not constantly rehashing that anxiety that somebody caused you. So it happened. If you cut that cord, you don't expect it to happen again. You know, it won't happen. And even if it do, it's a new situation. And stop bringing yesterday into today. You know, and you will stop dragging toxic relationships with you into another toxic. You know, and people you bring in toxic. This other person may mean the best, have all the best intentions for you. But because you drag toxic attitudes and temperaments with you into this new, now you tainted the new relationship. You know, that's and then you want to know why it's not. You want to know why it's not working.
I see. I'm just gonna be the cutoff king today, and
I'm sorry.
My bad. No, it's my. But you know what? I just want to make sure. You know, I try to make sure everybody get a chance to speak their piece. So I want to make sure that we get everybody in. Because we're supposed to be talking about Cam right now, but you know what? We got a million shows. Huh?
Save it to the next episode, yo. I figured that this was going to happen, man. We might have to stay on this topic, bro.
No doubt, and that's what I was just getting ready to say that. You know, like we always got next week. Because this is definitely like the points that have been brought up are phenomenal. And as always, respectful, and I love that. I love that about everybody that calls up. You bring the wisdom and the heat, and you do it in a way that is easily digestible.
I want to say this before we go out on it though. We need to stop sending out the representative when we meet people. Stop sending out the public representatives and send JoJo from the mailroom. Be yourself. You know what I mean? Stop being phony. Because then everything is, you know, you're starting the whole basis off phony. And you're going to be scratching your head later like, I don't know why that ain't work out. Because it was coming in. Go ahead.
That's why it's so important to get to know people before you commit to them, you know, and don't spend so much time with somebody that they get confused about what's really going on in the relationship. You know, hey, if you take the time, then you'll know, okay, you wasn't acting like this yesterday. You know, take people in different environments before you say, okay, you my man. I mean, take them. I don't go to church, but, you know, I'm not a religious person. But take them to church, take them to the park, take them to the museum, take them to the hood, you know what I'm saying? Take them wherever. Take them in different environments and see how they act, if they adapt or not, and you'll know what you're dealing with, you know. And don't do it all in a week. Do it in 6 months, you know. It's no rush. It's no rush to rush.
You have to be yourself at the same time. You're trying to figure out somebody else, and how somebody gonna love you if you're not being you. You know what I mean? If you're not being you, I came in as somebody else. You love that person. You don't love me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Be yourself.
And then at some point, they're going to be like, well, you changed. And you did. You changed into who you really were.
I guess it's just me. I guess it's just me. I guess I was just blessed with just being me 24/7. You feel what I'm saying? No, I'm just joking with y'all. No, I feel you. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of people do come into relationships acting like a whole different person. I'm joking with y'all. You feel what I'm saying? But that's real talk. They do come in there. You feel what I'm saying? Go ahead.
My bad. Go ahead.
No. I got it all out.
Oh, well, what I was about to say was, I remember a long time ago, I got an older cousin, and she was married at the time. And this is when it kind of dawned on me, yeah, you need to just be up front. Her, and I'm going to get to 2082 right after this statement. But her husband at the time, you know, he would open every door. And I don't think he was doing it. That wasn't really him, let's put it that way. And so one day, they was coming out of church, and I'm watching this whole encounter. He forgot to open her door. and went and sat in the car and getting ready to drive off, and she's standing there. She refused to open her own door. And the reason I bring that up is because he started doing that not for him, not because he thought it was the right thing to do, but he started doing that to impress her. And when he got tired of it, it became a situation. You know, it's something as simple as that. You know, when you make something really simple part of your routine, it's so hard to, once you alter that routine, it becomes magnified. It's like, oh, what the hell? You know, like why all of a sudden now after a year you changing up? Something must be wrong. So I definitely agree, man. You gotta be yourself up front. You know, but Queen, I want to thank you for calling up and tuning in.
No
Definitely appreciate everything you said. Dope. And don't forget, you know, we're here every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, I will definitely be listening. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
No doubt. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get to 2082. And like I think we kind of already made up our mind. We're just going to let the topic ride out and otherwise, I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. We're just going to keep talking about it. So we'll get to 2082 right quick. What's good, fam?
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, good people.
How you
guys?
How you doing?
Doing good. Man, this is a good topic.
Well, thank you. So what you think?
I think it's a good topic. We are focusing on the females tonight. So we want to get females' perspectives of how you feel, and do you think that is a myth, or why are females, especially melanated females, so single right now?
Right. It's a sad state of affairs. But, I mean, I do have a response to it, but, I mean, I feel that it's well-rounded because it definitely, you know, addresses issues on the individual level and, you know, cultural phenomenons, you know, that we face as a whole, you know, that really feeds into this problem. You know, and we cannot ignore just, you know, the psychological state of Black America when it comes to this topic. There's just so many things that, you know, we have to heal from, that men have to heal from, that women have to heal from. You know, generally, you know, stating this, you know, women, you know, there's women seek love and men tend to seek validation. And, you know, when it comes to relationships, those two things can be highly incompatible. You know, because one doesn't really feed into the other. You know, and then when they start to clash, you know, people pull apart, and the cycle kind of perpetuates.
Do you think that those roles can change within each other? Like maybe a female might be more dominant as far as financially, how she wants to see the relationship go, and the male wants to be more of the carer as far as in that relationship? Can these roles change pretty much?
I think they can. It definitely takes maturity. And I think it also points back to the first thing that I just stated, you know, people, we just need healing, you know. I mean, we don't have a lot of examples. I mean, you know, this is a general statement, but, you know, coming up individually, we don't have a lot of examples on, you know, like seeing and being taught on how to adapt and change and,
Correct.
You know, and accommodate your partner. So a lot of people are figuring this out through making mistakes. Unfortunately, a side effect of the mistakes is that people get hurt, they get jaded. You see what I'm saying? And then so the next time around, it continues to lead into this problem, you know, of, you know, broken relationships, you know. You know, and someone said it earlier. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm glad that you brought up the images. I'm glad that you brought up as far as like the images that the youth are coming up and seeing now. That's why I asked the first question, because some of these roles have changed.
especially when I was coming up, I seen a lot of females talking about, I'm not going to use these explicit words, I'm just going to mumble them out. Fuck, get money. You feel what I'm saying? These are what females are saying. So basically, they did build these independent type of stances on how they're going to look at relationships as well. That's why I asked, at one point in time, did these roles reverse? So now it's the problem on one side and another problem that was on another side. These both interchange with each other, and now we're just one big gumbo of, all for themselves, pretty much. In my personal
You know what?
Yeah.
I want to interject on that.
I agree.
I do think that the roles can be, reversed from what society has deemed our roles. It just takes two people who are confident in who they are. Like not every man is going to be able to change your oil or put a new drop a new engine in. And let's just keep it a stack.
You talking from the manly man perspective.
Right. Not every man is going to live up to that billing. Like me personally, I'm not changing your oil. I will go get it changed. And I'm cool with that. And if let's say I was with a woman who knew how to change your oil, I'm not intimidated by that. I'm comfortable enough in my own skin to say this is something that I'm not good at. You're great at it. You know what? You're hungry.
Right.
I'm going to hook you up while you changing this oil. What can I do? I'm going to hand you these pliers or whatever it is you need, and I'm cool with that. Now, some people would look at that and be like, oh, man, that's just a weak motherfucker. No, actually, that's a super strong motherfucker to realize, you know what, I'm okay with my woman complimenting my weaknesses. That's how it's supposed to be.
And the person that say that was weak is looking at it from a standardized type of mindset that was set way before we was born. You dig what I'm saying? Way before we was born. So things change in time, dog. You feel what I'm saying? So of course I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then hopefully, you took the time to get to know the other person to make sure that she was okay with you. Not fixing the oil with your hands, The sister said before, we got to get out of the microwave mentality. I mean, people just, they go off of physicalities and boom, we in this thing. But, we got to fall back and we really got to know the other person, right? You guys were also making the point in the earlier discussion, your real person, you got to put that first. But a lot of people, men and women, don't know who they are. So,
that's true.
And they may be thinking that they need another person to be complete. But you got to be whole before you step to somebody else. But, not everybody has done that personal groundwork in order to be fully ready to give their full or real self to the next person.
People have to be comfortable in their skin. I'm glad that Charles brought that up early because I remember when I was in high school, I didn't have my driver's license at the time when my girlfriend did, and all of her girls used to be like, oh, you gonna go pick that? I ain't gonna say the word. You gonna go pick that up? You feel what I'm saying? He's having his own car. He should be driving the spaceship right now. Girl, he's a senior. Oh, my God. You feel what I'm saying? But the point that I'm trying to make is she really didn't care. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason why she didn't because we felt comfortable with each other. You feel what I'm saying? And I know it sounds really like young or whatever, but the point is these are the type of people that's going to be in your ear as well. Nobody can dictate how your relationship goes if they're not in your relationship. You feel what I'm saying? They are basically outside interferences that's coming in. So I shouldn't, if I really like you, you feel what I'm saying? And I understand what you can do, what your possibilities are, or what you can't do. I'm not going to put my expectations on you with other people think outside of my relationship to put on you. That makes no sense. I'm not having sex with them. I don't know them. I'm not sure.
Nobody else could value how you value the person you're dealing with in your relationship.
Exactly, but it happens a lot though, right? These
that's somebody that's when that's where it goes in. It always goes to the self. I mean, if you're not found in a relationship, at the end of the day, if we keep having problems, we keep end up single. We the common denominator. It's time to start looking inward.
Definitely.
So,
But then that kind of
If I'm worried about what somebody, if I'm worried about what somebody else that is, talking about, well, you should be doing this. Oh, this dude, this female, she ain't got no car, or this and that. She ain't doing this and that. Why am I worried? You're not in this. You see what I'm saying? It's how I value. I have to look inside and take it for myself. Why am I even valuing what this person says if they not in it? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's grown man talk. You feel what I'm saying? Me being probably like the younger person on this phone, I had to overcome them hurdles. You get what I'm saying? They don't affect me no more. At one point in time, they did. You feel what I'm saying? But they don't now. And Sean is right.
That's interesting too. Yeah. And you know what? It's like if you think about it, especially with men, the younger you are, the more you date for society. And what I mean by that is you look for approval from your boys as to who you with, which makes who you with more of a physical thing. Which goes back to the point I was making
as far as men seeking validation.
Now, hey, Josh, can I bring up this one incident? You remember a long time ago, like one of our first shows when the dude called up, and the only thing he said was that he dated a dark-skinned female, right? He said the reason why he stopped dating her because of what his friend said. That's why he said he only dated light-skinned females. We had a show about this a long time. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying?
And I told him, that's your age.
Mm-hmm. No, he valued his friendship with it. He valued the relationship with his friend more than the woman.
Right. So he might be gay. I mean, let's keep it 100. He just might be gay. I'm sorry. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I think dude was like 20.
Yeah, he might be gay. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, hey, man.
No, man.
Gayness doesn't have an age 20, once you hit 15.
At 20, you can't tell me that you're not out there, like first thing when you meet a quote-unquote hot chick, you want to tell all your boys.
I mean, but okay, now look at how you classified it. You said a hot chick. The reason why he stopped talking to this hot chick because of her skin tone. He didn't say that she was ugly. He just said that he only dates light-skinned females.
But what he did was he got that from his boys. He showed her off, and his boys was like, ugh. And
you feel,
he wasn't confident enough yet in himself to make a call that was the best thing for him.
His boys was probably looking at him. His boys was probably looking at him like, "Why you gonna hit that when you can hit me?" Man, these young dudes get.
Okay, can I interject? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, and that's like, but I can see it on the eye level. But me being in the mental health field, like little things like that, I can't help but looking at stuff like that psychologically, which is indicative of something that's broken inside that young man. You see what I'm saying? So if we look at that, like, why is he so big? Like, why is he not confident in his own choices that he has to follow, everybody else? And that's like not an uncommon issue. Men and women fall to this. You see what I'm saying? Like wherein, and then you guys were talking about like taking your issues and whatever outside of your relationship when it should be, we need to be keeping more inside the relationship instead of getting, so many people's opinions outside. But it also goes back to why, us not having, positive mentoring or images, you know what I'm saying, to emulate so that we can be strong in our relationships. Now, so looking at this, at that little scenario that you guys just stated, can give us clues on how we can fix this issue. Like the state of state of Black America, there's a whole lot of aspects and angles that we need to tackle. But the state of Black love, the state of Black family. Shameless plug, I opened up a web page because I call myself a Black love revolutionary, and I really believe in strengthening the state of the Black family. It's called on Facebook, Occupy Black Love, Operation Strong Black Families, because a strong Black family unit is a threat to white supremacy. So we need to get back to that. The state of a strong Black America, is the cornerstone, actually, I should say, to a stronger state of Black America is the Black family. So, of course, they're going to destroy that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just another angle of, keeping us down, divided, and, add in all the other, adjectives you want to use there. But going back to the scenario, we can look at that, dissect it, and see, okay, how can we make our men and women more confident in themselves, right? So that and looking more inward and getting right within self, so that they can move forward and be more interested in, building strong. Of course, we all got to go through a fun phase, yeah. But the end goal should always be in sight. Why? Because we are concerned with self. And why should we be concerned with self? Because we should be concerned with our legacy and our generation and our communities and our people. But how can we get to that? How can we share this information? And the last point I really wanted to say, because I don't want to get slashed by the cutoff king, but
That's Jobs.
I don't want to get hurt.
Hit him right there.
I got tire tracks on my back right now.
I'm telling on everybody. Him right there.
But, there's a lot of behavioral programming. We already know that, the media, it's really hurting us, and there's more and more people that are unplugging from, quote unquote, the matrix, and, freeing their mind up. You see what I'm saying? Freeing your mind, allows us to, break these oppressive chains that's kind of like held our minds down. And then once we are able to unplug from that, we're able to see what's really important and what's really going to boost self up and boost us up. Unfortunately, for women, there's not a lot of brothers that have unplugged from that yet. And if they are unplugging, they're still in the process of healing from all that hurt and damage that the behavioral program have done to them, right? So the selection is few. They've locked their men up. You guys already touched on a whole bunch of other things. But there's just so many issues that really are against us as black women, from finding a strong black man to make a strong black family with. And we just got to tackle it on larger issues, but self and then culturally or, on a societal level.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. And I am not cutting you off at this this juncture. I do want to get to another couple calls.
No problem.
I truly, truly, truly appreciate you calling up, though. I definitely appreciate the wisdom. Wow, man, stop it.
No, you can't do that when I'm walking out the door. I said what I had to say. I'm good.
Yo, Sean, chill with that, Sean. Like, yo, you wild, Sean. Like, you a wild boy.
What?
Sean,
man,
wild
you cold,
boy,
bro. You cold. That's cool, though. That's cool.
Oh, I'm the third man on the list. You gonna blame? But we should expound on what the sister said, though. How do we correct?
You know what? Before you do that, Sean, because I totally neglected the conversation got so good. I want to let everybody know that you are tuning in.
No, go please. My Skin is My Sin.
I want to let everybody know you are tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to guys, we welcome everybody. And we only have one rule, and that's be respectful. And just, you know what, send an ovation to everybody that listens and calls up, man. The respect level on every topic we've ever had has been phenomenal. So don't forget to check out the groups, All Black Everything at My Skin is My Sin. Don't forget to check out the website, myskinismysin.com. And Rare Breed, I did post
Rare
link
Bird.
to
Rare Bird.
I'm sorry, my bad. I'm still waking up. Rare Bird. I did post a link to your page. Well, you know what? I'm trying to show some love here.
Thank you so much.
So y'all check that out. No doubt. And feel free to post that on my page, too, as well.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, the hate is real, AJ.
Hey, man, I know which side is winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm on that side. Y'all go over there and get knocked down all you want to. I'm over here chilling. You feel me?
Hey,
I bruise easily. y'all can do what y'all want.
Hey, I'm gonna get you. Sean, what was you about to say though? I think I kind of cut you off too, bro.
Oh, I was gonna say this is what the sister was saying. Let me expand on it. How do we get there? How do we get to working together and being more in tune with what we, want for ourselves, so we could project it out and work better in the community? How do we do that?
I'm gonna answer that. And before I do, I want to let y'all know 8829 is next, and then we got 4266 after that. She said something that kind of stuck with me a little bit, as far as people, especially young brothers, having a quote unquote fun, when we're younger. I think one way we can do that is to catch our young brothers early enough to redefine what that fun is in their younger stages of life.
Correct.
Fun don't necessarily mean you have to go around and try to knock off as many chicks as you possibly can, quote unquote.
Okay,
fun
so
can be,
we have to look at the images that's portrayed in front of them. You feel me? And who are portraying these images? White supremacy. So we have to tackle all of these issues. You feel what I'm saying? But we already know the root of this core is basically what is funding these type of things that they see. Because let's keep it 100. Adolf Hitler said it the best. If I control the media, I control not only your mind, but I control minds for generations. So if they see that these things are prohibited, as far as them proclaiming themselves to be a man, and these are the type of things that's going to make them manly, as far as having sex with as many women as they want to. You feel what I'm saying? Popping mollies and doing whatever the hell that they want to do. Who are putting these images right in front of them? You dig what I'm saying? We can get to the rappers later, because they are a dime a dozen. But why are they being propelled?
At this point, though, as far we have way more control now. Not to say that we control every image, but we do have more access to control the images that we put in, that are being seen now. And I think we need to just take a better advantage of that.
I think we're doing a good job with that as well, as far as this generation. I honestly feel as though we are.
I would agree with that.
There come time when you can't control the image, and the child's going to see it, and they're going to digest it, however they digest it. So that's where I think we need to focus on with the children when we're dealing with them. We need to focus on that critical thinking, teach them to think critically. You know what I mean? So
explaining as well.
So they could be able to digest. You know what I mean? What's happening? Because I've seen a commercial. I'm sure y'all all seen it, because I know they got it in heavy rotation. It's a commercial where they got these people and they behind like a X-ray machine, and then they come out, and then they, it's like it might be it was the girl, and one girl she had like a disorder, and then the other, the sister, and they came out. Then you had then they come to the gay couple. You see what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So, we have to be able to get these kids ready, for the psychological warfare. We have to upgrade our efforts. You know what I mean? We have to always continue to disseminate the information, but I think critical thinking, that'll help a lot of what's going on, because if the children or the next generation could critically think before they make actions, before they do things, before they have sex without the condom, before they kill the brother, before they go to the corner with the drugs or such and so forth. Think critically, like, nah, you know what, this ain't really the best thing.
No doubt.
That'll make them relationships better. You know what I mean? That'll tighten the household.
And you know what? And we don't have to elaborate on it, but I feel as though that is the exact thing that you just said could be brought on the females as well. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to show yourself to impress nobody. You feel what I'm saying? You might be, overdeveloped at your age, but you don't have to basically do that to fit in. You feel what I'm saying? you are beautiful no matter how you look or how anybody perceives you, how to look, or what they perceive you to do, what the fuck that they want you to do. You feel what I'm saying? This is what we need to tell our children.
That's like I'm big on people knowing that they are loved, you know, or people hearing that and that's why every day, you know, I post in the group, you know, that I love you, and that may be the only time somebody in the group hears that day. And sometimes I'm like, you know, nobody's really paying attention to it, blah, blah, blah. And every once in a while I get a reminder that people do pay attention. You know, like today somebody tagged me and literally quoted it. You know, that made me feel good. That one time, you know.
I seen the picture that you put up this morning. You put up the dude, you feel what I'm saying, on the horse. They wasn't Timbs he had on, but shout out to that. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to that. You feel what I'm saying? They wasn't Timbs. You feel me? But I
thought they was, but it was. You know what? And it just that picture just kind of struck me like it took an old school but with a new school brother on it. I thought they was Timbs.
Right. You feel? You know it's all.
You know what? I
take
that back. Those ain't Timbs. Those Nagash.
Yeah. But it's all good though. You feel what I'm saying? I'm always in the business of making my brothers laugh. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I catch everything, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Matter of fact, let's get to this next call right quick, fellas. We got a couple more in only about 20 minutes. Let's see. I think we got 8829 next. What's good, fam?
Yeah. Yo, what's going on, man? It's Sun 752. What up, John?
Sean. What's going on?
Hey,
what's going on, big homie? How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling like a real man should each and every day. It's nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, all right.
So how do you feel? How do you feel about the topic today? For real, is why sisters are single? Do you feel as though that they are single because of choice, or how do you feel about it, brother?
Well, you know, you kind of touched on some of the things I was feeling about it. When you was talking about the media, you know, we have one of the biggest non-national holidays coming up February 14th, and that's Valentine's Day. You know, so around this time, people are making all kinds of crazy decisions that are not really based on how they feel about themselves. You know what I mean? You know, we on social media. We on social media every day, right? Now you see all of these demeaning memes talking about side chicks, this, and you know what I mean. This is how you're gonna be looking on Valentine's Day and all.
Right.
A lot of women, a lot of people are taking that to heart. You know, so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, the women that are single, maybe they was all right about it, but it's hard to stay all right about it around this time because of adult peer pressure. You know, we think that peer pressure is something that dissipates once we become a full-fledged adult. But as you know, other than 18 and 21, the legal drinking age, you don't have an official age that you become an adult. You become an adult once you start to really live your life as a free person. And the only way to become a free person is to have a free mind. Now, how many people do you know have achieved that? It takes some of us a lifetime. When you look at a person that's single versus being with somebody, whether you have a man or a woman or whether you have a spouse, a lot of it plays out differently between men and women. Like, for example, like on the woman's side, women make a lot of mistakes when it comes to getting out of the single life because they succumb to a lot of peer pressure. You know, women follow behind each other a lot, even though a lot of them deny that they do. But when they see their friends starting to have babies, what do they go out and do? You know what I'm saying? When they see their friends start to get married, what do they go out and do?
They feel nobody wants to be last. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I want to interject something real quick. You feel what I'm saying? And I forgot it that fast. Go ahead. It's gonna come to me. This is gonna come to me, but it's gonna relate to what you're saying. I'm sorry, my bad.
We got 20 minutes. Like literally, we got 15 minutes there, AJ. So think of it quickly.
Oh, you think no? Let me go. Yeah.
Well, anyway, what I was gonna say was, it's not always a bad thing. You know, like sometimes women follow behind each other doing positive things. Like you could actually look at the whole getting married thing as a positive thing to follow behind. However, the choices that you make and the pressure that you put on somebody in order to get married sometimes may be bad. You understand what I mean? So instead of taking your time with somebody, being patient and making sure that person is a good fit for you and is in alignment with your future, you may just find some dude who may be a little bit weak-minded but likes you a lot and pressure him into marrying you. I've literally heard women tell me that they told their current dude, listen, off gate, before I give you my number, before you push up on me, any of that, I'm looking to get married soon. So if that's not in your plans, then you might as well not even talk to me. And dudes have gone for it. Now I would have thought that the dudes was kicking. I thought the dudes was just kicking game and going along with it, get some ass or whatever. But they actually went through with it and kept their word. But then after a while, they wind up getting divorced pretty soon because they really didn't get married for the right reason. There was pressure on one side, and there was sympathy to the pressure on the other side, and that's just a bad recipe for a future relationship that's built in a healthy way.
I disagree, man.
I disagree. You know what?
I appreciate that.
I do
personally,
but I actually do want to interject on what you're saying right now on what Job said earlier, because he brought up a stat that said that majority of black couples that get married in their 50s. I didn't speak on it when he said it because I was thinking. But if you really think about it, most of those people settle. Because I can't speak from personal experience because I'm not 50. I'm not even close to 50. I'm not close to 40. But I can look at some of the people that's in my family, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I can look at some of my aunts, like, they used to talk to some dudes, like, they were just some dusty niggas. Let's keep it 100. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't mean to use that type of language, but let's keep it 100. It's the feel of companionship. Nobody wants to be alone when they're old. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say that those numbers are screwed because they're not screwed, but I feel as though it comes to a point where you're settling. Somebody has children, somebody doesn't have children. You feel what I'm saying? And this is not a knock on either the man or the woman. You dig what I'm saying? But some people that do get married when they're a little bit older, they're just doing it because for selfish reasons. They're not doing it for a commitment reason or from a companion reason. Go ahead.
That's one way to look at it, or you can look at it as that they have matured and their requirements for a spouse have changed. Whereas you're 55 years old, you're not looking for nobody to take care of you, financially. You have already done your thing, and you're settled. You are looking for companionship. You're looking for somebody that you can enjoy doing nothing with.
But okay,
and
you know what?
Enjoy traveling the world with.
That's true. Now that could be, but that could be true. But you know what? But hold on. Let's take those two people that's in that relationship. Would they talk to each other in their 20s?
Probably not.
If this is the person that you feel, if this is the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life, why would you want to be with them when you're in your 50s? You're settling now because you was looking for something else, even though that person was right next to you. You don't think
that's not necessarily true. I'm going to tell you like this.
Not on every occasion.
Well, I'm just going to tell you like this. I know people on both sides of that coin. I know people who I know. I'm 45. So I've seen a few things. Like I have a lot of friends that are older than me. I have a lot of friends that are younger than me. So by the time you get to my age, either you've already been married before, and you don't want to do that ever again, or you went through a marriage that didn't work out, and you lament over that a little bit, so you want to try to make it right the second time. You know what I mean? And a lot of times the second marriage goes better, goes in a better way for people because when you get younger, when you're younger and you get married for a whole lot of reasons that don't really have anything to do with you. But just like we were talking about before with the peer pressure and all of that, you feel, I know plenty of women that got married just because the dude asked them, and all of their friends was married, so they didn't have their social scene was a little messed up. But on the flip side of that, you said an interesting thing about people getting married because they don't want to be older and alone. And me being 45 right now, I get asked that question a lot because I still do me. I never been married before, but I've been in so many relationships. I'm like I feel like I've been married before. You know what I mean? I've done the living thing and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I have kids, and I'm like I don't have to get married in order to prove a point. If I want to be with somebody, I'm going to be with them because they make me feel like there's somebody to be with, and I'm very selfish when it comes to that, and I don't blame anybody else for being selfish when it comes to getting the love that they need, because if you don't get the love that you need tailored to your needs, eventually you're going to find your way up out of that thing. So pressure in that regard is not acceptable to me. But I've evolved in a certain kind of way. I'm not like a whole lot of cats. Like I don't really worry about growing old and not having nobody. My feelings on that have always been if you thorough, you always gonna have somebody because you thorough. You know what I mean? But
I hate to cut you off, man, but apparently that's just my job title today, man.
Nah, I understand, Josh. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the clock.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure we get another caller. Blame me, man. I'm on
blame Jones.
I'll take the L today.
No, it's all good, man.
Salute, brother, man. You already know what it is with us, man. Salute, brother, man. Love that you call up, man.
No doubt, man. Right. Definitely bought, just everybody dropping wisdom today, man. Salute to y'all. We are going to get to, let's see, we got 2248 numbers. We're going to get to 4266. Let me see, that's Sean, my bad, Sean. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, there we go. We're going to get to 4266 right quick. And 9253, I see you holding, we're going to try to get to you also. My apologies if for some reason we don't. We're going to get to 4266 right quick, and just so everybody knows, we only have 10 minutes left to go. What's good, fam?
Hey, brothers, how are you?
All right, yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. I know my appellation on the Facebook page is Joa Ashabi, but you can call me Christine. That's my government appellation, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well,
so how you doing tonight, Christine?
I'm very well, thank you. And how about yourself?
I'm doing better now that we got you on the phone.
I thank you kindly. I think this topic I really was compelled to call in because this topic is really very important, especially at this juncture, at this time in history. Black love is a revolutionary act in times of war, and that's literally we have war waged upon us in every aspect of our lives, particularly when it comes to media. Those who have the ability to set aside ego, to establish solid relationships is really very important. And the reason why I think a lot of women are single, including myself, and I've seen quite a few, the evolution of relationships through at least 3 generations. I've had an opportunity to be a witness to things that have occurred. But in the 80s, I know a lot of you probably maybe weren't even born in the 80s, but in the 80s it became a time of the me generation. Everything was about me and what my interests are and what I want to do and money and materialism and so forth. And so we start to evolve away from the aspects of relationships that help us to develop, love and care and compassion and growth and growing together and so forth. And the women have become shallow, not necessarily because of a natural progression, but because this is what they're taught, a proverbial dumbing down of the society. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yes.
So
we are in the individualized type of state right now. You
Absolutely.
know,
it's about nation building. It wasn't about.
We can speak on somebody that came from our area and used our area to basically get their financial wealth and don't give nothing back, and we would have a group of people around us if we ask, what is he doing to give back? And they would say, well, you hating. Why you hating on him? He getting his money. He getting his paper. You know what I mean? And see, that's the thing right there. It's not hating when you ask a question. We have to look at it because if we look at each other as all people, but you need support when something bad happens to you, we have to support each other 365. This is not.
And that's what relationships used to be about. That they used to be about that. You know what I'm saying? It was about building families, building relationships, and I made a video about this yesterday, and there's a complementary aspect that is invoked in relationships. You don't seek out somebody for material gain of what they can give you. You seek out or you establish relationships based on what you can grow together, how you can grow together, what you can create together. That's complementary. I don't want to mate because of what he can give me. I want to mate, or I choose a mate for what we can build together. And all that whole aspect or that whole thought process or mindset has been removed from us completely as a people. There's a trinity that I'm sure you are aware of, the trinity of Usar, Nasat, and Heru. That is the balance. That is the balance. That is what brings about progression. What two people can bring together. It doesn't even necessarily mean in the physical sense of always bearing children, but what you create together as a couple. It could be a home, an empire. This is how empires are built. This is how generational wealth is created. And I'm not necessarily speaking in terms of monetary wealth. I'm talking about homes and legacies that you create for your family. You understand? Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And we apply
unreasonable perspective. The only thing I would maybe slightly disagree with is there are some men who, let's say you're a rich dude and you want a woman that wants a rich dude. If you can find a woman that wants a rich dude simply for the fact that you're rich and you are comfortable with that, by all means, roll with it.
Absolutely.
The last thing I'd want that person to do is on both sides is to try to find somebody that they can turn into a rich dude, and that's your only goal, or some dude that is going to try to turn a woman into something that she's not. Find somebody that is content in their own skin.
I'm glad that you brought that up. Now we're going to take it into popularity type of people. If you think about majority of the black males that have wives now, that are married to wives outside of their race, that haven't did anything to obtain this wealth, correct? We can talk about Tiger Woods. We can talk about Michael Jordan. I'm not hating on these brothers. You feel what I'm saying? I am really not hating on these brothers. But these dudes are worth, the females that they basically wifed up are not worth anything. Now, let's play role reversal for a second. How many white women have you ever seen that was just diving in money on some Scrooge McDuck type stuff that married a bummy black dude? This is where generational wealth comes in. They're not going to pass on their generational wealth, and they're not going to leave it outside of their race. This is what I was trying to explain to people a few months ago. White women, you feel what I'm saying, that are not talented or don't have anything to bring to the table, that marry black men, they marry into their wealth. So now when they do divorce, they can bring that money back into their race. If you can name me one white woman right now that married a bummy black person, that this black person can take all this money to his race, I would never bring this up again. Just name one person.
I mean, well, quite honestly, we all know that if that has occurred somewhere in the pantheon of humanity, we ain't gonna hear about this shit, because that's definitely not something that they would want us to even know even ever existed. So I don't know. I can't name anybody, but I can guarantee you we would never hear about that shit. And if a brother marries outside of his race for the same reason, you're gonna hear about it on TV a gazillion times, because they want that to be the norm for us.
And the reason why I brought that up is not only is marriage just something of companionship, it's a business. Marriage is a business.
Absolutely, it is. It's business.
That's the reason why I brought it up, because that's how they look at it. Oh, I'm just going to marry this big black guy. He got $100 million. He just buy all these things. He loves me. Next thing you know, you break up with him. She getting half of the money. Next thing you know, she just dating Tom Cruise mom shoes. Some dude look alike. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is how everything is based upon systematic white supremacy. Everything. I'm sorry, it is. Even our relationships are. You dig what I'm saying? That's why the whole stigma of why can't black women get married? You feel what I'm saying? Everything is based under a stigma. It's not realistic.
From the stats that I put out earlier today, clearly that's just not true, though.
Yeah, well, I want to
get married. They just get married later in life. I'm sorry.
No, that's why I said it's a stigma. Yeah.
I wanted to interject this also, as I don't know if you've ever read the study about that memories can be carried genetically also. Do you know that based on the trauma that our people have experienced over so many generations, that there is a genetic resonance of things that have occurred to us, and it affects our relationships with each other as men and women also? Does that it's just absolutely true that there is such thing as genetic memory, and and when I say that we're having war waged upon us in every aspect of our lives, it's true. Through media, through television, through radio, what we listen to, what we read, all of these things affect our perceptions, and in that we apply unreasonable expectations upon each other when we try to get together as couples. The women have unreasonable expectation of their men, and the men have unreasonable expectation of the women. So it's difficult for us to come to, kind of a happy medium so that we can get together and look at each other from a holistic perspective.
Correct.
No doubt. And Queen, I definitely want to thank you for calling up, because our show is about to end, so I didn't want it to cut you off.
I know.
Apparently, that's been my thing for the day. So,
is it somewhere that we could contact you at?
Absolutely. Well, yes, of course. I love this program. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. You're bringing out a lot of points that we need to have conversation. We need to have conversation. So thank you. Sin is a moon god, so I that's what kind of drew you to my attention in the first place. So thank you so much for allowing me to share with you.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
For sharing with us.
Thank you.
And Sean,
I'll give you my contact information if you'd like.
Of course.
That would be awesome. And I think I did just tag you on the post that we both are on there, AJ.
All right. Okay.
However, Sean had to go. I think he got to work tonight too. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. This was, and I know I apologize to those who was waiting on us to talk about Cam. We'll pick that up Tuesday. But this was just such an interesting conversation. And I read something somebody posted, and they said that they hate these type of conversations because it always turns ugly. Well, you got to.
It hasn't turned ugly yet.
We've talked about everything under the sun, and we've done so with grace. Salute to everybody that called up, dropped wisdom, and were respectful. I'm proud of y'all. We love y'all, and y'all don't forget to check out the groups, All Black Everything, My Skin Is My Sin. Check out the website, myskinismysin.com. And if you see a post about the show, please share the post. It's only one way we can grow, and that's with y'all help. AJ, you got anything you want to add to that, bro?
Man, you killed it, but I will say this. I have nothing to say, man. That man did a wonderful job. John, shout out to myself. Shout out to all the callers that called in. Tuned in to Market is My Sin. Check everybody out at Market is My Sin on Facebook. Shout out to everybody that's on All Black Everything on Facebook. And let's continue to grow.
No doubt. Salute. Peace out. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to y'all Tuesday.
Salute.